Hello, hello, hello. This is it's Billy Bob. That's right, Billy Bob Cockfield. It's Billy Bob Cockfield, Robert Billy Bob Cockfield, and this here is the one and only best talk show host on the planet. This anybody got nothing on him? Y'all probably don't remember Montel Williams and you know what was his name? See that's how he ain't even Arsenio Hall, none of them. They ain't got nothing on. They ain't got nothing on the Daniel J for yeah Williams. They ain't got nothing on that. They ain't got nothing on it. So now
nothing on them.
Now last week he was super fly. But then I thought about that. I said, man, that's going a little bit. That's them black exploitation deals back there. And Daniel, he flying high for Jesus and all that. So I'm telling you what, I said, that ain't cool, man. So I had to think of a biblical character that probably would be more fit to him.
So I'll be Daniel Judah Williams.
There you go, man. See that? I would have thought of that, Daniel. I ain't read that much Bible, man. I'm not that verse like you just said.
Yo, because you know Judah. I mean, my name is already Daniel, so there's a book in the Bible about my diligence and my patience and my faithfulness, how I honor God in the middle of turmoil and being a captive, and yet I rose.
See that, man. See, that's oh my goodness. See, you good and saved, man, because you came up with all of that, and I ain't seen nothing about Robert in the Lions Den, with the calf and all that. I ain't see Robert in there.
And you have to, you know what you have to do is you have to implement your name. You have to place your name in there. Be personal with it.
Personal with it.
Yeah, when you read it, you have to say me, I, and say your name. You got to be, it's you because it's a love story, right? The Bible is a whole love story. He wrote it to each of us, so therefore we have to place our name in certain parts of it.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna play with that. I'm gonna marinate on that because with the last name like Cockfield, man, that's kind of hard to just.
All right, I know you. Just get that out. Just go ahead and get that out your mind.
Leave that alone.
In spirit and truth.
Yeah.
In spirit and truth. You got to come to him in spirit and truth, man.
So I got to work on that. So see, so y'all know that's Daniel, Judah. Yeah. Now, at least he got a tribe. I give him that. So check this out.
The tribe that means and Judah means praise.
Oh man! And by the way, check this out. So I went to Springfield, Missouri, and my spiritual father and his wife, they Church of God in Christ. They holiness, man, holiness. Without holiness, you can't see God. So they do they be jumping around, shouting and all that in the church. And man, I hadn't been in the hot box in a while. I call it the hot box. Y'all know about that. That's them holiness folks. They saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. And man, they hey, and all that. And they run around church, right? And so he came up to me and said, man, get your step on. And I had him laughing. I whispered in his ear. I said, no, I ain't bringing my video camera. Because I said, man, I need to tape you so I can practice my steps. Because I said, man, I ain't had that in a long time. So I'm just letting y'all know, man, you got to keep going to church, man. You keep going to church. I just want to throw it out there. Some of y'all ain't been to church since the 70s. And even though we got the pandemic, serious business, man, you got to go to church. And I'm going to throw this out here because fellowship is important. Like, it's not like touching people or being around people or just, physically just being there for somebody to see you smile, talk to people. And so, I was joking just earlier, but man, it felt good to just go in a church and just have fellowship with people. So now I got a different position. I know some people say, oh, no, man, no, you don't have to go to, yes, you do. Yeah, that's Bible, really. I mean, it talks about that, how we do need to fellowship with each other, man.
The Bible says, I was going to say something about that because you was talking about it. A lot of people, because they've made it convenient for the lazy people. And if you tuning into service from home, chances are you walking around doing something else. You laying up on the couch watching something else. You're not even paying attention to it. if you can get yourself to the assembly of the people, because the scripture says that you not to forsake the assembly, because there's power in numbers.
Yes.
It's power in numbers. That's why the Bible speaks of a flock.
Yeah.
It speaks of the flock. He speaks of a harvest. He speaks of things being, you're talking about the number of stars, the number of sand. The Bible is always making reference to always being congregated in large numbers, because it's strength in numbers. That's why Adam couldn't be by himself. And Jesus sent them out 2 by 2s.
Got to have that physical connection, man. And I know, this is what he just said. It's power in that, man. So on a serious note, I laugh and joke a lot, but it made me feel good, to just physically look at people, touch them, and say, hey, man, and dialogue, laugh, just enjoy Jesus, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, all that. So, I just want to let y'all know, man, just think about this. And pastors, quit saying this, man. I thought about this. This is what we said. Oh, your sanctuary is where you make it at home during COVID. That's what we said. And then now people are like, well, now you like, come back to church. And somebody said this to me the other day. They said, wait a minute, you the one told me make my own sanctuary. Now,
hey, I bet you the same pastors that was saying make their sanctuary at home, their church is closed right now too.
Shut your mouth. Huh? That was I don't know, man. That's so they
told that shows how much power was really there in the place that they were
Yep. So you gotta be careful.
But you taking us in a whole other direction.
No, I thought that'd be the commercial moment right there. The pre-moment.
Commercial moment, yeah.
We're gonna get started, man. We're gonna get started.
Yo, and just to say something to the men, I like, yo, for real, stop sending your wife and your kids to church and you stay home.
What?
Although you may have worked a full week, I bet you had your recreation Friday night, Saturday night. Now you want to rest, but you got to think about your job, your income, your business. That's only a resource that came from the source. The source can cut your resource and make you come in and then serve him. He'll make you come into the house and be like, Lord, what am I going to do? My job, my business fell under. It's because you relied on the resource more than the source. So get out of the house and go with your family. Show your family that you are the leader. Don't let your wife be the leader.
Yes. And you know what? Now, that's funny you said that, because out of the mouth of babes, man. So this past week, me and the grandparents, we grandparents. So Braden and that granddaughter of mine, man. But anyway, this is what happened. We upstairs. They said, Grandpa, come upstairs and let's play. And I said, Brielle, okay, I'm gonna go upstairs. So Braden and Brielle upstairs, and they go to church faithfully. And I hadn't been to church. So they said, now Grandma was going, but to that church, but they ain't seen me. So we playing with the toys, and this is Lynn credence what you said. They both ganged up on me, Daniel, and they caught me off guard. And then so my grandson said, Grandpa, you go to church? I said, huh? See, because I'm thinking he's stupid. I'm like, I'm gonna play him dumb. I said, huh? He said, Grandpa, do you go to church? I said, huh? He said, you don't, because I ain't seen you. He said, huh? Do you play anywhere else? What you doing? Huh? You been playing for the Lord? I said, man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm just telling the truth. And shame the devil. Man, I'm old school. I wanted to choke him. I'm like, man, you gonna bust me out like this, man? And I said, man, and before I could do that, Brielle, my granddaughter, said, yeah, because she said, I ain't seen you. I said, what you mean you ain't seen me? She said, I don't see you in church. I said, well, oh, you sure you ain't seen Grandpa at church? No, I don't see you in church. Matter of fact, I never see you in church. I said, well. So he tells me, this was crazy. He said, you're going to get in trouble with God. See that? Now, that's something when the grandkids can say stuff like that. He is 100% right. And so, you know what? We got to up the game. And this is what they meant. See, like since COVID, I've been hitting and missing, And he right, man. You watching him and her on, on TV, you know you ain't paying attention, man. And then you get them moments where the phone ring and you're trying to cook and clean and do all. So, man, he's right. Daniel, I thank you for that. I think this was a public service announcement, a PSA moment. Like, we just saying, go to church. Go to church with your family, man. Ain't
Men,
go to church.
hey, and actually, if you do it, check this out. Start getting up and you be the lead for getting out and going to church, for praying at home, for reading your Bible at home, because that's the responsibility. That's your responsibility and your obligation and your duty anyway, as being a provider. Not just financially, you're supposed to provide spiritual guidance. You're supposed to give them spiritual covering and protection. You're supposed to provide those things as well. If you're wondering why it feels like something's incomplete in your role as being the head, as being the leader, that's what's missing. You're not giving them that covering spiritually because you're not doing it. You're not covered spiritually, so you can't cover your family spiritually. If you're not in alignment and obedience to God, don't be mad by they're not in alignment and obedience to you. Absolutely. You're not in absolute obedience, so they don't have to be in absolute obedience. They may respect you, but the obedience thing, you're not being obedient to your head. And just as it said, that it will flow down. So what you're doing, they end up doing. So you get your thing together, watch. Your influence with your family will change. It'll be another level of respect that you'll see coming from them. You won't have to tell them to do things. You won't have to ask for things. They'll just willingly do it. Just because your level of influence went up because you just took control and stepped into the position that you're supposed to be in. All of them.
Yeah. And you know what? That's good. You said what you said, because that's exactly what we're talking about today. And we're talking about,
what we talking about?
Huh? Is it really about what God saying you need, man, in your life, or is it about what you want? Now, I'm going to start this off. Daniel just said this, man. It's beautiful. Now, if I'm supposed to be the head, and it's come from God and flow down, and I'm supposed to, be a spiritual leader, and it's, just be the protector and all that, stuff that we're supposed to be doing for our families. Now, I'm going to throw this out here. Now, I looked up something. I was like, what is it that men need in a relationship, right? To like what you need, not what you want. Now, so we can skip, all the guessing. Check this out. Now, I used to, back in the day, I ain't hiding it. Like most dudes, when you coming up, you're trying to find a red bone. Y'all know about that light-skinned chick is out there. I'll come. Oh, I like red bones. Now everybody got, it's like T-bone, quarter, filet mignon, and all that. Everybody got their own taste. I was a red bone guy. So check this out. Now that's one. Now some people say, man, I don't like them short. No, I like them tall. No, I like, and then we all got all of this what we want. See, that physical stuff. So we work from the outside in. But if you about God, His spirit speak your spirit, and then your soul, and then your flesh. Now, then your heart and mind is regulated, but it all starts with being spirit-led, spirit-filled. But this is what we do. See, we start with sensories, 6, 7, and there's another one in there. And I'm going to talk about that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Peter. And I ain't talking about Peter in the Bible either. I ain't talking about him. I'm talking about, what I'm talking about. See, we let that, we got two heads. I'm being real. Like, you let that other one and this one, you start on the outside, get control, then it's all about what you want. See, sex. Well, it's about what they look like. How much change or cheese they got. And men do it too. We be talking about, man, look at the car, look at her house, look at the credit. See, you want to do credit checks on her and all this stuff. And a lot of men have women in their life for bragging rights. Like I've heard men say this. Oh man, my woman, man, she a nurse, she a doctor, she all this stuff. She make this amount of money. She, she got her own business. All this. Listen to what we're saying. None of this stuff belongs to us. None of it doesn't fit your purpose and intent in God. Doesn't got anything to do with what you're supposed to do. So what happens is you get people that you want, but it's not what you need in your life. And then you wonder and wonder, and everything gets jacked up. I want to start off with that, and I'm just going to throw this out here, and then I'm going to let Daniel just rip it, because I know he's going to do it. Look at this. Each man needs are unique, but somehow it's common for every man, check this out, to love, respect, and have sex. Yes, sex is important. I just want to let y'all know. But it should be with the person that you need, and it should be with the person you're supposed to be with. You don't just go out there willy-nilly and have sex with people. I'm going to tell you, I didn't try all that. And it don't work, man. You get your rocks off, as they say on the street. And then, man, you're done, and you're still empty. It's like anything you do that don't have nothing to do with God. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's what happens. Now, men, you know you don't want to hear this. It's a public service announcement. When you go out there and do stuff that you know doggone well ain't got nothing to do with nothing, you know you leave and you like, oh my Lord, what did I just do? And here's what's dumb about this, man. People say, I ain't paying for that. You're alive from the pit of hell. Any piece of woman you with, or whatever, whoever you with, man, you pay for it. Now you do. Like, man, say that they're way across town. That's gas, man. That's wear and tear on your vehicle. You're paying. You get them a value meal. You had to pay for the value meal. You buy them clothes, all that stuff. So I ain't met a woman yet that you messing with that you don't need, and you out here buying all this stuff, and then the relationship goes south. Then what? See what I'm saying? And it had nothing to do with nothing. And you just threw all this away. So check this out. These are really the most essential emotional feelings a man craves for his relationship. So I'm gonna give you the top 5, and then you can get it. A wife makes herself irresistible to her husband by learning to meet these 5 basic needs. His need for administration and respect. His need for sexual fulfillment. His need for home support. His needs for spiritual support and reciprocated back. His needs for effectiveness, attractiveness, like that's right, and you reciprocate that back as men. So in other words, you can't just want your woman to say, yeah, you look good. What? Say it back. Like, see? But I'm gonna tell you why we don't do that. Maybe, just maybe, and it's gonna be hard to say. What if you got a woman and if you ain't careful, she's beautiful. She is. It's what they say, in the eye of the beholder. So we'll judge what beautiful looks like on the outside first. Man, is what's more important is her spirit, her willingness to serve God, her willingness to line up with you. Y'all not unequally yoked. That stuff is more important. Like, y'all in tune with God, man. I just want to throw that out there. And the last one is the need for a life comparison or compatibility. Now, Daniel, them the top 5. You know, that's what I want to start with. So you can go from there, brother. I give you enough, man. I gave you enough. Talk about that, man. Talk about it.
All right, so you know me. I'm gonna come from the other angle. It's gonna be different looks and whatnot, but I'm gonna say, let me go back to a story of the prophet Samuel when he was going to anoint David as king, and he was looking at all of his other brothers. And God was like, the oil wouldn't flow from the horn. And God was telling the prophet, he was telling Samuel, he's like, because you're looking at their stature, looking at the way they look on the inside. I'm God. I look at the heart. I don't look at what's physical. And that right there, if while a man is single, see, I'm going to admit, I did my thing when I was single. I did my thing when I was younger, but I had a lot of frustration. I had a lot of bad breakups. I had a lot of fights, unneeded, unnecessary turmoil in my life, all because I looked at the continents. I looked at the shape and the figure, the hips, the thighs, and all of that stuff, the lips, and, you know, being infatuated with the sexual compatibility and the sexual chemistry. I didn't know me. I didn't know who I was. See, while a man is single, right? Well, I'm gonna tell you, you young men, even you other men that are single at this point right now, being single is the time for you not to chase tail. It's for you to figure out who you are first. Because see, once you figure out who you are, you know what you're here to bring, what value you're here to add to the earth, to add to the world. then you know what value you're going to add to a woman. And now you can screen her, and she has to meet your qualifications because you're the head, you're the lead. She's going to be following you. When she comes from under her father, she's looking for another man to take care of her. So it's about you being in your rightful place, going about your purpose, having your stability in life first. And then, you know what, when you go and you looking at a woman, I don't know. First of all, we got to get our mind off of what they say men like, because not all men are driven by sex. As much as they want to say it, and we keep on co-signing it and being in agreement with it and whatnot, and that's not the case. Most of us just want a support system, somebody that has our back. You my support system, and you got my back. I got you all out. I got my wife all out. A man will go all out for a woman who's all out for him. But so many of these relationships, they go bad and they go sideways because neither one of them know who they are, know how to screen the person that they're looking at, so they end up taking on anything. He's like, oh, this what you like? He's like, dang, I got to do all of that to get that. And because you don't have no standards, you'll be like, okay, I'll do it. You don't want to do it, but you do it anyway. You just be stupid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a portion of it. And I like, but all of the other things is like, yeah, we want somebody that actually will listen to us, somebody that I can be vulnerable with and tell my innermost things, tell where I'm hurting, tell where I'm frustrated, where I'm confused, where I don't understand the thing and it's really bothering me, and I don't have to worry about you kicking me in the balls later with it. Because that's how those relationships be running. You tell her all types of things, intimate things. You tell her the things that you fear, the things that you're afraid of, the things that you don't understand that embarrasses you. And the very thing that embarrasses you, tell her the thing that embarrasses you, or the thing that you never told anybody else. And then everybody knows once she gets some kind of attitude, some kind of mood and whatnot. Now everybody, and then that sours a man and make him feel like, nah, I'm not confiding in no woman and whatnot. And I think that's where a lot of that comes from, because we enter into relationships that we should not have entered into. So therefore you confide in the people who are not worthy to be trusted with your most intimate stuff.
Yes. And man, Mark, you said the balls. Now I ain't trying to be funny, but he's right. That for men, get kicked there and see what happens. Women, y'all don't know that. Like, you get hit there, it's over. It's checkmate. Here's my point. Pain. See, that, like he just said, the emotional stuff. I know a lot of y'all out there, he's right. Like, people think men are not emotional. Yeah, there's emotional men. Even the hardest man got some emotions. I mean, that's the truth. He might act like, oh, I don't care. Yeah, he do. You know that, you care, man. I mean,
that's why a lot of us in turmoil with that tough guy. You're not Iron Man. You know what? And as far like, I'm glad that we're doing this podcast. Gotta let these guys know that for real, hey man, you have emotions. You don't have a masculine side and a feminine side. God didn't make you masculine and feminine. He made you a man, and he made you with emotions. A woman gets sad, you get sad. A woman hurts, you hurts. A woman loves, you love. A woman cries, you cries. They're emotions. There's nothing feminine or masculine about it. So stop. That's how they feed in to getting all of these guys to go into little by little, acting a little more feminine and a little more oh, I'm just being in touch with my feminine side. Man, if you don't get out of here with that feminine side, you just got emotions, man. Ain't nobody telling you to be, you don't have to be acting feminine. And then for real, how many relationships you seen where the woman, she keep on egging the man, yo, get in touch with your feminine side, get in touch with your feminine side. Then he start acting feminine. She's like, why you acting like a punk? I need a man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like, and I would never say the other word to go along there, but the women I know, man, they rough, man. They say, oh, quit acting like a whining. You know, I ain't gonna say it, but check it out. That's what he's talking about. Like now, you know, they done told you get in touch with stuff, and then you touch it, and then all of a sudden you whining. You know, like I heard this one chick, she's stupid. She said, man, you know, why you gotta be like Keith Sweat, man? You always whining. You know, and what she meant was, come on, man. Like, dude, really? But where did that come from? He's right. Like, you know, emotions, man, it should turn love to trust. It's really about trusting each other. When we really get down to it, it's like your relationship with God, right? That's what it's about, right? You're supposed to love God, and then that love should turn into trust, because he loved you enough to trust him, trust us with his only begotten son. Like, or to even when Jesus left, he trusted us. He said, oh, you know what? I'm gonna leave you a comforter. What? He didn't have to do that. He could have just said, you know what? No. In relationships, it's the same thing. It's like what you need. God does it. God like, I'm gonna give you what you need and not what you want. Some people think, just imagine, I was reading this book by T.D. Jakes. He said that. He said, man, if God just gave you what you want all the time, he said, man, you wouldn't even, first of all, you wouldn't have no respect for God. 2, you'll be idolizing the stuff. And 3, it would have no benefit as far as, you know, your capabilities and your ability to function and really be blessed, happy, valued, you know, and really just be a partnership, you know, because Dan, you didn't talk about this a lot of times. Like this is, see, we got mergers and acquisitions and stuff when we get together, man, and we don't want to talk about that stuff. That's what you need. Like if I'm talking to a woman, we got to do that. Daniel been saying it. Like, hey, before we consummate this, let's have a real conversation. Now I'm gonna tell you this where I'm at. Here's my strengths and weaknesses, and I gotta be able to trust you. So I love you, and I want to love you, but I gotta trust you. And like you said, I don't want to put my business out there. Then you gonna take my kindness for weakness. As a man, I want to be able to trust you. Like if I put this on the table, this about the mergers, acquisitions, man, and this being a corporation, being a power couple. Okay, now what's yours? We should be able to compliment each other, and it shouldn't be that we competing against each other. We should accept the fact that there's some things I do, and there's things you do.
Right.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like I might not be good. I've said this before. I ain't good at finances. You good at finances. Or it could be when it comes to even the children. You know, we don't get this. There has to be a balance in this stuff. That's where I'm going at. Like there's some things that, okay, I might not be good with the kids, but in certain areas. Well, as most women will say, no, that's not true. You know, there are some things that the kids need from you. That's what women do. And then there's some things that as a man, you got to tell your woman, like, hey, there's some things the kids need from you. That's partnership. But when we, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I just want to throw that out there. When you was talking, I was like, that acceptance and trust, man. Like, I got to trust that you're going to accept the fact that I'm man enough to put my cards on the table. And then if I got some shortcomings, doggone, don't beat me up with it, man. Help me. Like, don't be talking about I suck. Don't grade me.
Yeah.
Today, you got an F. For what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate that. I'm like, oh, now I got an F. Go ahead, Dan. Go on, man.
So see, it goes back to, you know, it all goes back to tying things back to biblical principle and everything. So I mean, the Lord said that it's not good for man to be alone. So he said that I'm gonna give him a helpmeet that's fit for him. So that means she's gonna compliment him. So many people have turned around and miscommunicated the word of God as in far as about talking about the woman submitting to the man. leaving out that the man has to submit to Christ. If he submitted to Christ, then the woman would have no problem submitting to the man.
That's
The
right.
problem is these women, they want somebody to be submitting to them. And the order of it goes, hold on, let me get some. All right, man, I'm gonna help you out, but you have to use this thing right. Don't use it as a weapon. It's something to help. So it's right here. Two different scriptures. 1 Corinthians 11:8, right? It says this: for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Where did the woman come from? Came from out of our rib, from my side, from my rib. Man was made. Woman wasn't born. She was pulled out of us. So therefore, all mankind derives from the man. All of that woman stuff, being the goddess of this and that ain't what God said. We're the seed. Nothing comes from life except from a seed.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Before you go to your point, too. Now, hold up, man. You done got me thinking. I ain't saying I'm right in what I'm about to say. So you said that there was a set of ribs. There's some ribs right there. And God said, I'm going to give you want a half pound, a pound of ribs. It's some ribs. They wasn't born. How? They wasn't like, that's what he took. You said ribs. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes if we ain't careful, when we don't know, we want what we want, but we don't know what we need, we'll act like we at the barbecue shack and we want another rack of ribs. I'm sorry. I'm just Daniel when you said that. You see what I'm saying? That's what happens when you don't have what you need, when it's what you want. You take that scripture, what you just said, and if that rib come from you, that's personal, man. Like, that's your rib. Like, that's you. That is your DNA. He took her from his rib.
But you only can recognize what's yours if you're in tune with God. You got to be in tune with God in order to be able to recognize what's yours. If you just wanting to go around to each restaurant, each location, and keep on ordering from menu after menu and whatnot and trying things, then that's how you end up. That's how you end up. Hey, I'm gonna say it like this. This is how you end up being overweight. That's how you end up with high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, because you've been eating at all the wrong places, eating all the wrong things. If you stuck with God and you subscribe to the diet that he gave you, you'd end up with the woman that you're supposed to have. You wouldn't have to be trying all these different flavors. For each house.
I'm telling my truth. See, when you don't know better, you can't do better. So that's why I'm saying, you mentioned that rib, man. The rib came from that was his rib. Now that's personal. But when you out here going to get rack of ribs from other barbecue shacks and with different sauces and stuff, y'all know what I'm talking about. And that's when you know that's not your that's not your rib, man. That's not who you're supposed to be with.
Well, they already know it before they order it off the menu. They know it ain't theirs before they order it off the menu. But they still want to try it out. It look tasty. It look good.
No. Huh?
It pleased you in the beginning, then you end up feeling sick.
Oh, you can't eat all the ribs.
Later down the line, talking, I'm never eating from that place again. I'm never eating from there again. I got food poisoning. there. Yeah, that's what happened. But instead of you having a healthy diet and just doing taking care of you first, you taking care of you and getting your stability in life, getting your footing and your anchor in life, because we are designed to take care of the woman. We're not designed to take care of women along the way until we meet our wife. But y'all keep on, just like the women will say, I'm not giving you wife benefits and whatnot. Yo, stop giving her husband benefits. Stop taking care of all these women. They ain't nothing but candidates. They looking at you as a candidate. They're candidates. Stop giving away husband benefits along the way. And then by the time you get to, you get to a wife, you ain't got nothing to offer her because you done had to start over. Every time you end up out of a relationship, you got to start from the drawing board all over again because you done sunk everything into taking care of her household, taking care of her transportation, keeping her dressed and fed, taking care of her kids. Wow. And then when it's all over and it's said and done, she decides she don't want you anymore. She gonna level up. Now you got to start from scratch all over again. You don't have nothing to offer to the real rib.
Now, I think too. I'm gonna say something because you said something. You said level up, and when I was coming up, my pops and the men in my life said, "You, I can't use the word, but you go up. Like you get something better. Then don't go down. That's number one. But I think the rib thing. Let me get back to that. I think when you know you're wrong with this what you want and what you need versus I think we got a lot of dairy farmers out there. You know what I'm saying? Like we milking cows. You know what I'm saying? That's what
they spending money on the cow. They're not even getting the milk these days.
We milking cows, bro. That's what. And when you tell, I said, man, the preachers just do that. See, you out here letting them milk the cow.
Getting the milk and not buying the cow.
Yeah, he ain't buying the cow, but he want to milk the cow. Okay, that sounds good. I just use with the rib analogy. Like, doggone, man, it ain't your rib. So
I mean, I've done it. I'm guilty of it. I did it. I did it all throughout my life. But that's why we on this podcast. We trying to help y'all up. We trying to give y'all the learning curve. No, check this out. Military. The landmine is out there. We've already made our way through the landmine. We got a couple of hits and whatnot, but I can tell you, don't step there. Move over this direction. Hold your foot. Don't step right there. Swing your foot over that way. Move this way. All this is about, we're giving you instruction on how to not get blown up so many times trying to make your way through the minefield. Then you'll be in a good position for the woman that's meant for you, the one that God designated for you. You'll be in a good position. You'll have your finances in order. You'll have your stability together. Then y'all can actually build together. You wouldn't have to go into the relationship like most men. We end up going into relationships later in our life, having to start from the bottom, and we feel embarrassed because she's got herself accomplished or somewhat accomplished, and we're back to starting over again. We feel like we ain't got nothing to bring to the table but probably our clothes and a vehicle.
Well, but that's what happened when you're milking and not buying. See that? Because I'm telling you, I had look. Now,
hey, check this out, Rob. Some of them they ain't even milking. They just paying out, hoping they can get the milk. They hoping they can get the milk, and they still spinning it out. And all they getting to do is smell the milk.
Yeah, yes, man, and that's crazy. And let me throw this out. When you know it ain't yours, they doing the same thing you doing, player. Or you like, oh, I'm gonna go on and try to milk this. Man, they out here doing their thing too. The cow is going to different pastures. See, this is going back to, like we said, what you need. Now, what you need ain't going nowhere. Now, even when Adam and Eve that whole situation got jacked up. Did you read in the Bible anywhere where Eve said, you know what, man, I'm done. Like, I know, yeah, I'm leaving. She didn't do that because they were attached. Like they belonged together. They was that. I don't care how bad it gets. That's when you know that's what you need. Like if stuff go wrong, they ain't sitting there. At first they was like, yeah, you did. Don't, it's her. No. Then they clean that up. God said, okay, hands up. You're arrested. You wrong. But you didn't read nowhere in there where they just like, peace out, brother. 2, Adam, he could have, I believe this. Now, this is not theological and theocratically correct. But, I used to crack up and tell people this when I was preaching. I said, man, you know what? Shoot, why, when she did what she did, why didn't Adam ask? Hey, oh, that rib right there. You take another one. I need to take another one. That right there wasn't good. He didn't do that. He didn't say, well, you know what? you got the wrong rib, God. I wish he would have said that. He'd got the taste slapped out of his mouth.
Hey, hey, Rob, check this out. Actually, he did. When he said, it was the woman that you gave me.
Oh, shut your mouth. See, you just correct me. You're right. See, that sucks, man. That did. Adam.
He said, it was the woman that you gave me. He said, you gave me something that made me do wrong.
That been a punk. He was a punk at that point. You're right, man. That's a punk move. Thank
you. Then later, God got on Adam. He said, so, and see, and this is the same reason why I bet you, raise your hand, put something in the chat saying, raise your hand, put a number 1 in the chat or whatever, because I know it's been you, it's been me. You know what? God said that's why he had to punish Adam. He said, so you're going to listen to your wife instead of listening to me? How many of you men running around, you listening to your wife instead of listening to God?
Oh,
God gave you the command, and you're supposed to give the command down to her, and she gives it to the children. You give it to the children together. But nah, you in the house and you having her giving you the commands, and then you're gonna turn around and look like you still gonna be the man. God turned around and he said it in Genesis that the woman is gonna want to rule over the man, but that's why God put him in charge. Man. I made you first, so I got to put you in charge of her because I already see that she's going to want to try and run you. And that's where we are now. How they trying to run you? If they can't run you by actually commanding you, verbally telling you, go do this, go do that, and you humbly just run and go and do it, then they're commanding you by the power of sex. But see, they can't run you with sex. They can't manipulate you with sex. They can't weaponize sex and use it against you if you're a man of abstinence. If you got self-control and self-discipline, it's like, yo, I ain't even worried about none of that anyway. Because I didn't want your sex anyway. I'm trying to see where your head at. I'm looking around at your environment. I'm looking at your friends. I see how you dress and all of that. You don't even you don't even want nothing that's for real, for real. You still want to do the elementary school, the high school stuff.
Yeah, and you know, you've heard me say this before, and I'm just being straight up. Now, I'm not condoning this, but I always said it's America, Jack. You know, it's plenty of that, you know, cat meow and Oscar Mayer. You ain't the only Oscar Mayer, you ain't the only cat. And then
we got to get off of that altogether though, man. You know?
Yeah, no, I'm saying, and I say that because I want people to understand what you're saying is true. Like, the thought process is that's all men think about. That's a lie. I hear women say,
it's a lie.
That's all y'all think about. No.
There's some of us that's disciplined. There's a lot of single men. I know a lot of single guys that's young guys that's like that's in high school, fresh out of high school in their early 20s. They got a whole lot of discipline. They not even worried about sex. They getting themselves together because you turn around and you look at it. Don't be embarrassed. Just get yourself together. Why you in your 30s and 40s and whatnot? These women, they got themselves together. They got their house, they got their cars, they got their career, they got their money together, and you are like, I'm still trying to work it out because you done took care of this house, broke up. You went and you started taking care of this house, break up, start over. You go and you take care of this house and these kids, break up and start over. If you just take care of yourself, stop allowing your lower nature to control you and rule you. And once you have a standard for yourself, then you know what? You become the thing that's attractive. They start going after you, coming behind you, because you're a man of standard, not just because you got yourself together and you got your money, you got your car, you got your house. But now, you know what? You actually put them, you interview them. They got to meet certain qualifications. You got a certain standard. You got a certain way that you live. There's certain habits that you have and that you won't tolerate because you live a certain way. You got a certain discipline about yourself. You start showing them that you got you have a higher level of esteem and self-worth about yourself, and they have to line up with it. If they don't line up with it, then boom. You know what? You flush out all of the headaches. You flush out all them frustration. You flush out all of those bad relationships that you would have entered into, where you would have gotten it taken advantage of, and now you open up the door for the right one to come through because you operating and you qualifying these women. You got a standard. It's like, yo, if you don't meet these, I can't deal with you. Same way they do you. Same way they do us. Oh, if you don't have this, if you're not doing this, if you're not doing this, I can't mess with you. I like, you know what? You need to do them the same way. You know what, Ma? Same thing go for you. If you don't have this, if you're not doing this, if you only on this, you know what? See you.
Yeah. And you know what? It's called insecurity. See, that because in a real relationship, when you have what you need, not what you want, there's security. And I gotta feel safe. I gotta be assured that I can trust you. Like I mean that helps establish boundaries, respect, dignity for each other. Like really just saying, like again, I'm not trying to leverage you with sex. I'm not trying to leverage you with, okay, I make more money. I ain't trying to leverage you with, stuff. I don't need that. Like, okay, I don't need it. One woman said this recently. She said, man, if these men would just know I got stuff. I just need a man, a real man that love God. I said, shut your mouth. That's her thing. She's like, dude, I can go out here and get my stuff. She said, what I'm missing in my life, I need a man after God's own heart. Like he really loves God. That made her more secure. That because her point was, so what? You're going to come to the table with a bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of stuff. And then what does that stuff do? That stuff has nothing to do with nothing. And then people get insecure. Because then now we just comparing stuff to stuff. Like, well, I got a degree. You got a degree. I got that. I make this money. Man, that right there is a telltale sign that both y'all suck. And then y'all don't belong together because that's crazy. Because none of this stuff belongs to you. You can't take none of that with you. It's that intangibility. That stuff you can't buy, like the fruits of the spirit. Like you're gonna be patient with me. Oh man, the patience and all that stuff. Man, that stuff is priceless. That's beautiful. When you can do, if we can come together like that, the spiritual thing, that stuff you can't buy, man. And men, you gotta look. I'm trying to tell you. That's why God is important because. If you don't know what that stuff is, and you think it's stuff that don't belong to you, that's tangible, tangible stuff, it goes away. So this is why I tell my students, I'm an educator, right? I teach for the VA and all that stuff, and I teach adults. And this is the same thing in a relationship. This is why I asked them, hey, why don't you invest in your education? No, man, I ain't going in debt. You not? No, I don't want to pay it back. Man, and all that. So this was the old lady named Mary Doctor, third grade educated lady from Newport, Arkansas, told me. She said, baby, she said, now I'm going to tell you something. She said, get that education. She couldn't even say it right. She said, get that education. She said, because I'm going to tell you why. She said, only God can take that from you. She said, all that stuff you learn. She said, now you can go around and fight with these. All right. You can, all that, you can get all the stuff you want. But she said, have you ever seen a person have a diploma repossessed? I said, shut up. No. Her point was, and I'm talking about when you got what you need in a relationship, it can't be repossessed. That's when you know it can't. Like if that's what you got, and that's what's supposed to be in your life, it can't be repossessed. That's when you know you got the best relationship on the planet, man. Nobody can repossess it. Only one can take that away from you is God. That's because it's rooted and grounded in what it's supposed to be in. And y'all know why you consummate it. Like you on a mission. And here's my last thing before I turn it back over to you. Think about this. That's when you know the relationship is all cylinders. Because, man, when you know you're doing the right thing by God and y'all together, man, I'm telling you, it's a feeling that's just wonderful, man. It's like there's nothing better. It's better than sex and everything else on the planet. Like you fulfilling God's purpose. Y'all working together. Y'all happy together. Yes, I said happy. we get caught up on words and all that wordsmith. But you have the joy of the Lord. It's strengthful. It's beautiful. And then you feel fulfilled. Like, God please, you please. Because I asked somebody today, I said, man, how many times we've been in relationships? And we never asked this. Not is God pleased with just me. Is he pleased with us? See, we don't talk like that. That's how you know when you got it right, man. When you with who you need, because y'all talking like that. Like, you think God pleased with us? Like, are we doing what God would have us do? Are we in the right position? Language, man. Whole language changes when you with people. Or I wake up in the morning more concerned about that person, and they more concerned about me. So it's mutual security, dignity, respect, but God is first. Okay, so you go ahead, Daniel. Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna just kind of go back a little bit on it on what you were saying about the education and everything. Let's even take it this far, because I mean, get your education, because sometimes your gift is tied to that. Let's go back. And usually when we use those scriptures talking about your gift will make room for you, we're always talking about something in business or talking about finances and moving in that. Your gift will make room for you also is, see, while you're a single man, you figure out what your gifts are. Mm-hmm. What's the gift that God gave you? Your gift will make room for you. That also means that the woman that complements your gift, her gift complements your gift. The two of you end up sitting in the same room together. Your gift will make room for you because it'll open up a door that places you in the place where her gift opened up a door for her, for y'all to be in the same room in order for that merger to occur. It all goes back to being, while you're single, while you're by yourself, stay being by yourself and get what you need to get in order to be fortified to go forward in doing things. Because like you said, all of the getting things, you're accumulating things, because you know what, it's not really just so much for you. There's a degree. God says for you to have life and life more abundantly, for you to also be established in the earth, and that you have things. But it's not just for you to accumulate and say I have, but there's a portion that's for you, and then there's an overflow that you're supposed to just give out to others. If your gift is making room for you, there's a scripture that talks about, you know what, when one season of harvest ends, the other season of harvest will come right up on top of that. You won't even have enough room. You just have to give away the other stuff to make room for the new that's coming in. When you operating in your gift, when you operating under the guidelines of God, when you operate under the guidelines of God, then you can set guidelines for the woman that you come in contact with. You give them like, yo, this is how I'm living. So these are my disciplines right here. These are my habits. These are my routines. This is the direction I'm going. What's up with you? Soon as they start looking around like, well, oh nah, man, good. I'm glad you came in. Be just like the interviewer. Glad you came in. We'll give you a call. You know you're not getting the call. You know you're not getting the call. She knows she's not getting the call. Stay while you're by yourself, man. Stay by yourself and get yourself together. Get your mind together. You don't have them bad relationships. Heal yourself. Get over holding the grudges and keeping offensive in your heart and feeling some type of way towards women because you chose the wrong ones. Don't feel some type of way about women because you ended up choosing the wrong ones. Just heal. Don't go back into any more relationships talking about, I'm not going to trust them, so I'm going to just use them how I use them. Don't bother. Get yourself together, because you're making it worse for yourself. And the longer you live like that, the longer it's going to take for that actual woman that can care about you to come into your life. Because if that right one comes when you all messed up, you're not going to do anything but damage it. So you ask God, why am I alone for so long? Because you'll damage the woman that he has for you. Because you're not right. You don't have yourself together. She'll love you and want to love you, but you're not ready for love because you like, nah, I know she up to something. I know she no good. I'm going to get what I got to get and I'm going to be out. It's just like, I was watching this reel. This guy was praying to God. He was saying, "Yeah, God, I'm ready for the woman that you have for me." And like the angel was like, "You hear that?" God was like, "Yeah, I think he's ready." And so the angel was like, "Well, we have this." He called out some name, Samantha. She's in his geographic location, and he was like, "Yeah, she would be real good for him, but you know what? Because of her beauty, he would make an idol out of her, and then he wouldn't be able to serve me like he's supposed to." And then he was like, another woman, he's like, she would be nice for him, be good for him. Yeah, she would be nice for him, but his temperament, he would overshadow her because of his temperament, and then it would make her feel insecure, and then they wouldn't be able to go forward into life the way that I want them to go. So what I'm saying is, a reason why you might not be finding the woman that you need to be finding, first of all, because you're trying to find her on your own. Get yourself together. Get yourself together. Figure out the standards in the standards in the guidelines that you need to be living by first. Then you can say, then you can present that to somebody else. The woman might be very near to you right now, but God won't allow you to have her because you'll be too dangerous in her life. You would wreak havoc in her life because right now your mindset is jacked up, your heart is jacked up, your intentions and your motives are wrong because you know what? You're not aligned. And yeah, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say, yeah, if you holy, I mean, what is gonna hurt you? I mean, all you do is you'll live a healthy, clean life, and God will bless you. How's that gonna hurt you? How's that gonna harm you? You say, man, I don't know about that living holy. I like, hey, holy men true holy men, they don't have frustrations in life. They don't have headache and aggravation in that sense. Things gonna happen in life, but there's a peace, there's a contentment that comes with truly being a man of God, that God has your back. And he says that he cannot not honor his word when he says that if you serving me, I'm gonna make you wealthy. I'm gonna make your name great in the land. But there's qualifications for you to meet with God in order to get things from him. You got to have qualifications for a woman before she able to get things from you. Start putting qualifications on these women. Stop letting them run all over you because you running around like the wolf on the cartoon, just hot behind them. You know what I'm saying? Put some standards in yourself, and and then when you say this is what I'm about, you can stand firm on it, and they can see that you mean it. They'll respect you. That might change her, or she either gonna run away. I don't know what you say, Rob.
Yeah, and the reason why, excuse me, I let you say what you said because it all comes down as I'm listening to you talk. It's that effort and the meaning behind that effort. Like, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why I'm saying what I'm saying? Why that real that real genuine love for people? Like, is it genuine? Is it, or are we just all I'm doing, man? I'm just it's all about me. It's all about self gratification. It's all about making me feel good. It's all about when I want to be bothered, when I feel like there's a hole or a void, I want you to fill it, get in, get out. That's dangerous, man. That's and I'm here saying it's like that's not cool. And what it does, you don't have good pure communication because now we're going back to trust. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to talk to you. I don't know if my words have any value in your life. I don't know if you're even worthy of my words or even my deeds. I don't even know if I trust you with what I do, or like even my relationship with God. I probably say, nah, I don't trust you with that either, because I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna do with that. When we don't value people like we should, that's what happens, man. We just blow it. So, but we out of time. I just gonna say this last word. I'm gonna hand it over to you because I'm always it's crazy. I was gonna call you Iron Man today, but you got me, man. When you did that, I said, man, he done took my superhero away. That hurt, man. That hurt. I just want to end with that. Like, you took my superhero. I got lost because you just came out nowhere. That's why I know you're spiritual, man. You said that Iron Man. Did he say that? No, not. So I'm just leaving with that, man. But I am gonna come up with another one though. I'm gonna come up with another one next time.
Next time, then.
Yeah. You. They call it salmon in the pulpit. You snuck in a message. You took Iron Man away from me today, man. And they just kind of. But I still love you though, man. Still love you. So what's your parting words, man? What's your parting words?
Hey, my parting words are, I mean, we kind of said it all. I don't really have anything else to add and be long-winded. Yo, just get yourself together, man. Take advantage of the opportunity while you're by yourself to build yourself. While you're by yourself, build yourself, and that way you can run down. These are what qualifies you. This is what qualifies you for what I have to offer. Stop just giving it away and starting over. Giving it away and starting over, giving it away and starting over.
Yeah, man. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And this, now we ain't got grades for nothing. I just want you to know, huh? Yeah, man. Yup. Huh? Yeah, man.
That's salt and pepper, baby.
Shut your mouth, huh? Shut your mouth. And I know some of y'all like, oh my goodness, man. And they running away from it, but they'll catch up with you. So now I embrace it. That just right here. People say that's that keratin in you. They get all deep. This right here, this called OG, the old gangster. You just been running hard, and then it catch up with you, and then some, the salt and pepper put some seasoning on you, so you know better,
It's from that year. I'm distinguished. I'm that distinguished gentleman now.
Yeah, I ain't putting that stuff on there to make it black and all that, try to hide it. I want you to know, there's some wars right here. There's some stuff. So anyway, yes. So we want to say thank you, Archbishop Daniel Williams, for relationships. There's Archbishop Williams. I want y'all to know that. And then I'm the janitor at the Archbishop's Church. This is Robert Cotfield. That's my job. I'm saying I'm the janitor, and I'm proud of that too. And I'm just letting y'all know. It's life is beautiful. And while we signing out, you better start being thankful for everything God doing. Yeah. Thankful, man. Just be thankful. All right. God bless America. And
we'll catch you guys next episode.
Yeah. All right. Power. Peace.
All right. Act accordingly.